Short video, because we've run into this a couple times. This may make something easier for somebody else. Alright, so if you're going to pull the tub, you have to disconnect the parking brake cable from the pedal. Also, if you need to replace this part of the cable, you have to undo the other end, get it off of the splitter where it goes to the two rears, where the adjuster is up under the frame. That way you have slack to move the inner cable. And you have to take the parking brake, make sure the pedal is up all the way, disengaged, and you simply slip this end through this, because you'll have slack. Once you slip it through that, then you need to compress the pedal so you can move this stuff up out of your way. Now this will still be up through this hole in the bracket, and you have these little prongs that you have to deal with, which are a pain in the ass. So I saw this in another video a while ago. You take a 12-point half-inch 3/8 drive deep well, and you push the cable in, and this should work on most parking brake cables, not just this end of this cable, because this is how I got the other end undone too. And what you'll do is you'll slide it down on there. When you slide this down on here, it's going to compress those little spring steel tabs. It'll allow you to pull the cable through the bracket. Then what you need to do is you're going to need to spray some type of lube around here on this piece of rubber. It's basically acting as a grommet. Now the floor is angled, so as it comes through the floor, it's sitting on an angle. Let me show you from underneath here. So it's not really going straight through the floor, which makes it difficult to remove. But with spraying sufficient lube on there and remove this rubber flap, you have to get this down out of your way. The other vehicle that we're working on, the other YJ, the flap covered more than this one does for some reason. But either way, you need to get up underneath of here, and you just have to try and get this as straight as possible and pull down and wiggle, and it'll come out. And definitely wear gloves because you don't want to smash your hands. There you go. Now it's out. And as you can see, the end is just one big piece of rubber. If I remember correctly, the earlier Jeeps like the CJs, they had just a rubber grommet in the floor to take up the space between the hole in the floor and the cable. These later ones, they get this giant chunk of rubber on here, which acts as the grommet, I guess. So hopefully that's helpful on how to remove your front cable. Because once you have this off and it's disconnected at this end, and you pull it through the bracket at this end, it should make it a lot easier to pull this out of the frame, because this is run through the frame. You're not going to pull it out of the frame when it's bent around like that to transition from going up into the body to horizontal through the frame.